Okay guys, after you've downloaded Adobe Illustrator Draw for Android, you can find it on Google Play Store. You're going to have to launch it. Adobe Illustrator Draw for Android is an app used to create vector images and other art materials like logo, cartoon effects, and the rest. Okay, so this is the interface when you launch the app. On the upper part of the screen, you see my projects. On the lower part, you see this plus sign to add the projects. Let's just come to this side navigation. Now in the side navigation, you see lane gestures. Okay, so we have the undo, redo, zoom, pan, eyedropper, fill and enclosed area. So you're going to have to learn all these gestures and get accustomed with them. Okay, so let's go back to projects. So what we have to do now is we can use an existing project or we can create a new project. I'm just going to create a new project for this tutorial. So in creating a new project, you'll see different formats for you to choose from. For this, we are going to use HD screen portrait. HD screen portrait is, let's say, is the one in your phone in a portrait format. Okay, after you've created that, you see the format in this way. So right now I'm going to show you. To your left you have the tools, the brush tools. All these are the brush tools. Then this is the eraser tool. I'm going to come back to that. To your right you have add layers and all the layers you're going to be working with. So to the upper part of the screen you have settings and other options for you to choose from. I'm just going to start with settings. Okay, so in settings you see the format HD screen, which is the format you choose. You see shape snapping of 30%, 45 degree, 30 degree, 45 degree, 90 degree. We are going to see grid. Grids are used to measure objects, images, or whatever. You can increase the points or you can decrease it, or you can use perspective grid depending on what you're working with, mainly used in measuring. Okay, so right now for this tutorial I'm not going to be using any grid, so I'm just going to press the cancel. Okay, so I'm going to be introducing you to the layers. So now in the layers, which is on your left, you are going to see background and draw layer. The background layer is the layer that you started with, and this draw layer is the layer that you are going to be drawing on. So you can also add layer. You see draw layer or image layer. I'll come back to image layer. So on draw layer you can add a draw layer. Now you see two draw layers. You can either rename a layer. Let's just rename this one tutorial. Done. You can decrease and increase the opacity of the layer. You can transform the layer to whatever you like. You can also duplicate a layer. In duplicating a layer, it creates two copies of layers, or one copy of layer, if I may say. Now you can also merge down the duplicates. Now you get one. Okay, so I'm going to just be deleting this layer. Right now I'm going to introduce you to the brush tools. So in the brush tools I'm going to be showing you these settings. You can set it to whatever you like depending on what you're working with. For this tutorial, I'm going to be using the default, so I'm going to reset the brush. So I'm going to introduce you to color. In color, you are going to see this interface, which are the themes. In picker, you are going to see wheel. In wheel, you can pick whatever color you desire. In RGB, which is red, green, and blue, you can choose whatever color you want to work with. And in hexadecimal, you can put the exact value of that color. If you go to history, you are going to be seeing all the colors that you've chosen from the project that you've worked with. So on themes, you are going to see different shades of colors. On my library, you can decide to add a library. In adding a library, I'm just going to put this as you can add a color, you can add theme, just mess around with colors. I'm going to be closing color. So after color, you are going to see opacity. Opacity is used to increase or decrease the visibility of what you work with. You can increase or you can decrease it. Also, the size, you can set the size of the brush, or you can decrease and you can increase it. So right now I'm going to be using a brush. But before that, you can also preset the brush you want to use. You have these 5 default brushes to choose from. If you tap and hold, you have these 5 set brushes to choose from. So right now I'm going to be using black. Now in using these brushes, see, I'm going to increase the size. Then I'm going to make this one the opacity low. This is what you get. Remember the gestures I told you about. You can undo and you can redo, or you can come over here at the top to undo. If you tap and hold, you will see the redo. So I'm just going to undo all of this. Right now I'm going to be showing you drawing an enclosed area. This is very important in Adobe Illustrator Draw for Android, as you can't fill an area if they are not enclosed. That is from point to point. Okay, so right now I'm going to be showing you. Let's choose a color. You see that it got filled up. We can also change the color of the outline. Then moving over, you are going to see this eraser tool. You can use it to erase. You can increase or decrease the size depending on what you want, or you can just fill it like this. Also erase the outline. I'm going to be showing you why you can't work with areas that are not enclosed. Let's draw something. I can't fill this because it's not enclosed. So right now I'm going to be showing you the shapes, using shapes. But before that, let me introduce you to eyedropper tool. I'm just going to create something here. If you tap and hold color, you can choose an eyedropper for that color and fill it in whatever area you like. I'm going to undo all of this. So going back to using shapes. Now shapes are given by Adobe Illustrator Draw to make your work easier. I'm going to be using this circle. You can transform the shape to whatever you like. You can increase or reduce the size of that shape. You can also rotate it. So right now I'm going to be showing you one more tip. You can also draw on a shape like this. See, I'm going to undo all of this. Also, you can stamp on a shape by double tapping the inside, and this is what you get. You can also fill this shape by tapping and holding. This is what you get. Also, using the eraser, you can erase those filled areas. I'm going to undo all of this. So right now I'm going to be introducing you to the imports. You can mainly it's just an image layer. Take a photo, or let's take a photo from gallery. Okay, let's work with this. I'm going to be showing you, I'm just going to be messing around with layers. So let's make a shape. And this is what we get. One thing about layer is that this one comes on top of this, so as this one come on top of this. That's just how it works. You can also play with the opacity of the layer, as I have explained earlier. This is what you get. I'm going to be showing you the transform. You can transform a layer. You just mess with all of that and you're going to get used to them. I'm going to be deleting all these layers. Alright, right now, if you've drawn anything, you can import it, you can export it to your gallery. For example, you can tap over here. You are going to see these different options. You can send it to Illustrator CC or Photoshop CC. You can also share it to your friends. Right now, I'm going to work with transparent background. You can copy it to image gallery with transparent background or white background. That is just how to save an image to your gallery. Right now, Adobe Illustrator Draw doesn't have how to input text, but you can do this using an app called Capture. So you can download that from Google Play Store. Using Capture, you can save an image as a text. You can save a text as an image, and you can import it using this add layer right to your canvas. Okay, that's just it. It's not much, but it's what you can use to work with on Adobe Illustrator Draw for Android. We hope with time that we improve and add more features to the version, and you can just play around with the app. As always, you should be creative, and you shouldn't limit yourself.